We welcome you back to Knuckleball Prime Time. We're live in the Barn studio right here, or you might be watching us in the Parkland podcast on our pregame show for Farmington at Jackson, Little SEMO North football. Brett Dry joined us, and we're talking with Kaesen. I've been talking to this guy for 4 years. A starter for Farmington for 4 years. In fact, we were talking kind of off camera a little bit. You didn't start your very first game at fullback. You came in that game, you gained over 100 yards, and you started ever since. So you've really been a mainstay in the program. You're like a football lifer already, and you're only in high school. You're a guy that, in fact, the coaches knew about and told me about when you were in junior high. They said, we got a guy coming we feel really good about. His name's Kaesen McClain, and he's going to factor in for us. What do you love about football?
I just love the hitting part of the game. You know, I love just knocking heads with a guy, and you know, my favorite thing about just being on the field is just the respect everyone has. At the end of the day, it's just a game, but everyone has respect for each other, and it's everyone just welcoming.
You know, you're in the middle of all the action. You're the fullback on offense. You're the middle linebacker on defense. So you're in the middle of absolutely everything. What side of the ball do you prefer?
Definitely offense.
Why? Tell me why.
Well, you know, for the past 4 years, I have pretty much, I don't want to say dominated, but I want the other teams to know that I dominate them. And, you know, I have made my name for myself, and I plan on going to college and hopefully running the ball and making a name for myself there. And but at the same time, I don't mind defense.
You don't mind it?
I don't mind it. I'm willing to go on that field and do whatever my team needs and knock heads with the guy if I need to.
So in this triple option offense, you're always kind of that first check, that first read. Mm-hmm. If it's there, you're going to get it up the gut, and then it's Brett on the outside, or maybe he's got the pitch on the third phase of that option. But you are the guy that defense is key on too. Mm-hmm. So you take a lot of shots throughout the course of a game, and you deliver a lot too. When that fourth quarter rolls around, or does it show, or are you fresh? You ready to go? How does the game go for you?
I try not to make it show, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm taking a lot of hits. Anybody who's getting hit that much is gonna obviously hurt at the end of the day. But I try not to make it show, but maybe it did. But I'll take as many hits as I need to see Brett score an 86-yard touchdown.
There you go. Yeah, you're referencing the touchdown, the game winner against Poplar Bluff, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a good one. Tell me a little bit about Brett as a quarterback. What do you like about the way he plays the game?
I mean, I played with him since, I believe, fourth grade, all the way back in the Maffel days, and he pretty much ran the offense then, and I ran the defense then too. And, you know, he's always been that guy I could always come to and be like, hey, we need a touchdown. Get that thing. We need you to break up a pass. You get that thing. And he's always going to do his job. He's always leading us, and he's a pretty calm guy. He doesn't get too high, never gets too low, but if you talk to him, he's always a good guy.
It's been you and Brett in the backfield for a few years now. There's been a guy been added to the mix, though. We were talking about him off camera and off mic a little bit. And you've got Josh McCarthy, a guy that has kind of really come on. And a little bit like you as a freshman. You know, he started getting that playing time. A really dynamic guy. Tell us a little bit about Josh and his game.
Yeah, so Josh, he's a freaking nature is how I kind of think about him. He just came in his freshman year, and he was just like this cut, fast dude. And I was like, where is this freshman coming from? Like, what are we putting these guys Cheerios now? And, you know, he just came on the field and just proved himself just like anybody that needs to. Like, you come on the field, and he proved it the way he needed to. And he's a great guy, and I love talking to him. He's a jokester. He's definitely a little immature. He's still a young guy. But I love Josh, and something like we kind of have for each other. When we get in the like split back formation, we always go shake and bake, baby. We love it.
And which one is Ricky Bobby?
So, well, kind of both. I mean,
okay,
both,
all right, okay.
Both of us the same.
If you're not first, you're last, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. As a 4-year starter on this football team, you might have a greater appreciation than some of the other players on the team for, you know, kind of the history of the program and things like that. Mm-hmm. When you talk about history of the program, this is a Jackson squad that's been really tough on you guys over the past few years. What makes them a great team year in, year out? What makes them so hard to beat?
I mean, the first thing is everyone has seen Jackson as put them on this pedestal.
First of all, it's a mental hurdle.
Yeah,
then,
absolutely.
First of all,
I mean, Jackson obviously is a great team. Everyone knows that. They're going to work hard. They're fast. They're a very high tempo, and they're going to give you the best shot no matter what guys they put on the field. And they have always had a great coaching staff, and they got big line, and every one of them's fast. So the fans also down in Jackson are very loud and very supportive. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to Texas, like Texas football, but Jackson for the state of Missouri, they'll let you know where they are.
Tip of the cap to the Pit, then.
Absolutely.
Good football environment. Is that something you appreciate, being in a good football environment like
Absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. I want every team to give us their best shot. Want their fans be like, hey, we want you to lose, but at the same time, my fans here, we're no slouch.
Yeah, no, good
Any
crowds.
team's gonna tell you what's up.
You bet. When we talked to Brett, we talked to him a little bit about defense, and he said talk to Kaesen about defense. You're in the middle of the whole thing, and we talked about kind of the sophisticated defense that Eric Krupe likes to run, where you don't only have to be tough, but you have to be intelligent to make the right reads and everything. Tell me a little bit about kind of the take me through a play or maybe a series and the reads that you'll have to make from play to play in order for you to be in the right spot and your teammates to be in the right spot.
Yeah, so I can't tell you too much because I don't want to give up.
No, that's fair.
Give up to what Coach Krupe is telling us. He probably might get mad at me. But basically, calls a play from the sidelines, and usually after the first hand signal he gives me, I'm usually knowing like, all right, I know what the play is, and then I go up to my our huddle and I tell them everybody's what's going on. Then my safeties come down, gives us our checks. After I tell them our strength, and then most of the time, since we do have some young guys on our D line with like Isaac Owens, he's stepped up and he's a great player. But sometimes I got to move him around, and then Colin Winch from North County, he's me sometimes in the best position, so I had to tell him to scooch out and just make sure everyone's in the right position. My corners, I mean, I don't really got to tell them much. My safeties helped me out a lot, and how Brett mentioned before, they are hard hitters and they're very intelligent. But I mean, it makes my checks. Look at the quarterback, make sure he knows I'm there, and I'm going to take him out. And
so this is all pre-snap.
Absolutely.
So when you play a team like Jackson that moves as fast as they do from play to play, is that a lot to get done pre-snap?
Yeah, there's a lot to get done. I mean, it's fast tempo. I mean, what I've been watching film, and Coach Kirby has also let us know, I mean, they're like 20 seconds each time. Okay. They're what they're averaging getting on that ball. So they're a very high tempo team, and I got to make my checks before the play, but sometimes when they put them in motion or they're lining up, they move a guy or set them differently right before the play. I had to make the check, move the formation, move the strength, and let my safety knows what's also going on, and put my defensive line on the right position.
All right, so look around. We can't tell, except we're shooting. We got the Blues and the Cardinals here, but we almost have everything represented in this place. Take a look around and tell me your favorite piece of memorabilia in here.
Was a Broncos fan for a long time, so I love Peyton Manning. Dennis Rodman. Over there was awesome.
Who Dennis Rodman is. That's
Worm,
pretty good.
Best rebound. He may not have the highest rebounds of all time. I'll tell you what, Dennis Rodman, the best rebounder of all time.
Rebounder, yes.
Trying to look at some other stuff around here. A lot of favorite teams in here. They got the Cardinals in here.
Got Mahomes over there. I don't know if you're a Mahomes guy or not. Got Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
So
he's probably my
favorite football story.
Yeah, he's a great story.
Yeah,
he's probably my second favorite quarterback ever behind Drew Brees. But I'd probably say my favorite memorabilia in here is probably the Knights flag up there. Nothing gets better than that.
Hey, I think that's the right answer. Yeah, well done. Good job.
Did you?
That's
awesome.
Chad Winch right there behind the camera. Who started the Barn podcast. So there you go. Yeah, great story. Cool place. Knuckleball Primetime. This is where we broadcast from, or podcast from, I should say. And Kaesen McClain joining us here. What's the biggest improvement that you've seen out of your team this season so far?
We have gotten some experience, but we've added some guys and we're moving things around. So everybody's been very locked in. We had made mistakes, and like week one with County, we weren't as locked in. We got the high head, I guess you could say, and we made a lot of mistakes. But everyone has since then locked in, realized, hey, we got to get it going. We are the team that a lot of teams look at and be like, hey, let's beat Farmington. So we got to lock in, and it's just just the team is just very smart people.
All 3 games have been one-score games.
Yeah.
He won 2 of them. Have there been some commonalities in terms of why those games were won or lost?
Like North County, how I mentioned we had the high head, but St. Clair, they're a gritty team. They're kind of not going to say they're like us, but they're very running the ball all the time. They wind down that clock, and that didn't give us a lot of possessions. But they're just good teams, and I mean that's what our schedule is.
And Bluff was different then. They run a little different style.
Yeah, they run a little more spread offense, and they throw the ball, and they showed that, and they also have a great quarterback. I mean, he's been a great starter for them, and he's not afraid to scramble. And I gotta tip my hat to the kid. He's a good player.
Is Bluff a good game to have before Jackson in that respect? Then
oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're definitely a hard team. They have a good running the ball. You gotta watch that running back. You gotta also watch that running back. He's a very dual threat. But they throw the ball, and they're a lot like Jackson.
Kaesen, finish the sentence for me. Farmington will be victorious at Jackson if
I'd say we play hard, we play low, we play fast. We don't play at their level. We control the tempo. We don't get beat at the line, and we're playing at our best capability, and we're making the right reads, and everyone's communicating correctly, and we don't let that environment in the pit, especially in homecoming, impact us. And at the end of the day, they are just a team just like us, and we all want the same goal. We just want to win.
Thanks for joining me. Have fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Kaesen McClain, fullback, middle linebacker, 4-year starter for the Farmington Knights, joining us on Knuckleball Prime Time and on our pregame show here on Parkland Sports Live.